Your joy is a feeling of contentment and satisfaction and self-acceptance inside yourself that really no one else can give you. Welcome to the Joy in the Pivot podcast. I'm Dr. Phyllis. Have you ever felt that you start the day with the best intentions, you're feeling joyful, you're feeling connected, and by the end of the day, your joy is gone and you feel depleted, and you're wondering, what happened? In today's episode, I want to share with you some joy robbers and ask you the question, what is taking the J out of your joy? My mom used to have this saying. She'd always say when she was around certain people or certain situations would come up, she'd say, "Oh, they're about to take the J out of my joy." Have you ever said that? Have you ever wondered, like, why you started out the day and you were feeling great, you were feeling inspired, and by the end of the day, sometimes even sooner, within a couple hours into your day, you can feel like that feelings of joy is gone. I kind of think about it like a car. I know a while back, I I have to be totally transparent. I'm not always one of those people who drives my car and will always keep the tank full. I am one of those people who sometimes will just try to make it to one more location before I fill up. It's like I see that needle going toward E and I just try to get one more stop, especially when doing home care. I'm just like, okay, oops, I should have put some gas in my car, but I'll put some gas in the car once I finish this home visit. There was a time when I had a bad tire and I had been dealing with this. Okay, I admit it. I've been dealing with this tire for a while. I'll say weeks. It probably was longer. And I just kept putting air in the tire. I just put enough air in it to fill it up. And I kept getting so caught up in what I thought it was going to cost to replace the tire and what it would take to more of the process, right? Oh, I've got to go to the car dealership or and get a new tire. Oh, that means I'm going to have to schedule that. That's the way my brain was thinking. So I kept filling this tire full of air to the point that I had to face it and say, you have to stop and look at what's going on and fix the leak. This is crazy. You're putting yourself in danger. This I had to tell myself, Phyllis, you should not be driving around here with a tire that has a hole in it that just keeps losing air because, right? There's a lot of things that could have happened. I could have blown the tire on the freeway. And I think what really got me, of course, was like, I'm driving family members in my car. Of course, us women with big hearts, we can always do it, right? When it's motivated by a concern for somebody else. So I finally said, you got to get this tire fixed. So I went, tire fixed, we're good. Now, I would say that that's really the same as when you are allowing your joy to be siphoned out or being pulled upon. Your joy is like that tire. You can keep putting in and keep putting in and making an investment in, but until you address the leak, until you address what's robbing you of your joy, you're never going to have a healthy tire. You're never going to have healthy joy that's sustainable. And there are 3 types of situations that I want to discuss with you that I think that put you at risk for losing your joy and taking the J out of your joy. So, 3 top things that can take the J out of your joy. People pleasing. The more you try to please people and win the popularity contest of life, the less you're going to win. Because people are fickle. We know that we're human and we change up. The more you try to please people, to make them happy, to get validation, it's just pulling on you because you're never going to be able to get in their heads and to do everything perfect, because you do one thing, you fail to please them, you set up the expectation and they just want more. And so you continually allow those situations and those people to pull at your joy, because joy is within you. Your joy is a feeling of contentment and satisfaction and self-acceptance inside yourself that really no one else can give you. You have to establish that. You have to set that expectation, that gauge, that definition for yourself. And so the more that you let people pleasing siphon off or steal your attention and steal your joy, you're like that tire with the leak, because it's not filling you up. People pleasing is taking away from you. That gets into the next part of overthinking. Overthinking everything. Overthinking what people think, overthinking what people do, what they say, what you think they're going to say. It made me think about, I don't know if you remember when you were in school, and it even happens as adults. Let's be real. Somebody's in class, they look at you. She's looking at me. She's looking at me. Unfortunately, we hear in the news even more recently, right? Unfortunately, that there, during the Super Bowl celebration in Kansas City, unfortunately, it was a very unfortunate situation where a woman was killed in the midst of crossfire, along with multiple people injured, because of an altercation of some groups of people, because supposedly someone didn't like the way someone looked at them. I mean, that's extreme, a very unfortunate, extreme situation. Yet we do that in life, right? We worry about, well, that person's looking at me a certain way. They must be thinking a certain thing, or why'd they say it like that? They must have meant this. Why are they doing that? They're trying to do this. And you start overthinking and overthinking so you can start the day being joyful. Maybe you even, took your lunch break or took a break from your day, and you might have gone for a walk for lunch, read scripture or another inspirational, listened to something inspirational, or walked in quiet and regrouped yourself, and you come back in the office and you're overthinking again. But what, someone just asked you, well, oh, you're just getting back from lunch. Why are why are they asking me that? Overthinking. Overthinking can take the J out of your joy. Another one is impulsiveness. I can share this because, ooh, this used to plague me all the time. Impulsiveness, shiny objects, especially if life gets to be very challenging or you're in the middle of a pivot, you're going through a rough time, or you just know that you need to get into a pivot because life is just no longer fulfilling you the way what you're doing and what's going on around you, that you start then trying to create the answer yourself. So you become very impulsive. Okay, well, I'll go join that group because, that's something new, right? The shiny object. Oh, I'll go do that because that makes me feel good for the short term that I'm doing something. It's something new. The idea of doing something new without really thinking it all the way through. We just get very impulsive. Have you ever had that where you're impulsive and, oh, someone needs something done? Oh, I'll do it. You're just impulsive, ready to go, regardless if it's for you to do or not. You're so caught up in being busy. Busy has become your way of life. So you're always looking for something, some challenge, something to jump on because it's you feel more comfortable doing than being still. That can rob your joy. That's puncturing your tire, your joy tire that you need to help take you through the pivot. So are you overthinking? Are you a people pleaser? Are you impulsive or running after shiny objects? Or are there some other reasons that you can say and you can point to that are taking the J out of your joy, that are puncturing holes in your joy tire? What's taking the J out of your joy? You start looking at that in a very transparent and honest way. And you will continue to be able to get down to your deepest core. And it's at that level that on a mind, spirit, and body level that you will equip yourself to step into your pivot zone with joy and launch yourself into your next chapter and live your best life. I hope that this episode has empowered you, has enriched you, and I hope that you will like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time in the Joy in the Pivot. Take care now.